What's up, guys? We finally made it to Geneva here. We're at Faccinetti Automobiles, and we're here with the MINI Countryman. This is a new design car, newly redesigned car. You've seen a video just a couple of days ago of me sort of taking a test drive, my first impression of this car in Pittsburgh. Well, we now have the car in Geneva, and my goal is to give you a real-life experience of what it's like to have the Countryman around Geneva. We're going to take it into the mountains a bit, different locations. So let's make this happen. All right, so you've already seen my initial impression of the interior from the last video, but this trim is the all-D, but this is the diesel version. So we're going to see how it drives differently from the one in Pittsburgh. Let's go. So in the MINI Countryman, this is our first time on the highway. We're on the A1A heading to Col de Marcheroux, a great driving road, we're told. And I have to say, the ride comfort on the MINI is pretty good. We have it in regular mode, we don't have it in sport yet. This is the diesel version. The handling is actually pretty good, and I would have to say, on a straight road like this, that's great quality, the ride quality is really good. It's solid, the feeling is direct, the steering wheel is pretty nice and tight, and I have to say overall, ride quality is great. I would say I'd give it an A-. Out here in the countryside in a wine vineyard with the Countryman. How appropriate. And although you can hear the diesel engine from the outside, remarkably it's quiet in the cabin, as I was just saying. Very comfortable to the ride. The seats really are amazing. They really cushion you. This is a car you can go quite a ways with. And clearly for all lifestyles, so quite at home in the country and as an urban commuter, it's spot on. This is a great car. So we're in the hills around Marchisi, and these roads are actually pretty windy. And I must say that going around the corners, the Mini is good. The Countryman holds its own. I really like it. The interior of this cabin is top-notch. It does feel luxurious. It does feel premium. And Mini's always been a premium brand, so no surprise to that. You have the Harman Kardon system in this car. You have the heads-up display. And the one complaint if I have about this heads-up display is that it's really small, limited information, and to be honest, it's too close to looking down to the dash to see the speedo itself for it to be of use. You kind of look at it and you might as well just look down at the dash because it's so close. I wish it were projected more like traditionally on the screen. This car does have the now standard pedestrian collision avoidance system, which is right here, and you can set it to early and late. You've seen me talk about this system in a couple of the other cars that I have. The stereo system sounds great. It's solid. We were bumping to some jams a little bit earlier. We're on the culture station here in Switzerland as we head high into the mountains outside of Geneva to these small towns. This car is at home even in the country. The Countryman, I guess. say anything, the transmission on this car is pretty smooth. I mean, it's a laggy at times, depending on input, and certainly when you put your foot to the floor, you can feel that there's a little bit of a lag. But overall, I mean, there's certainly no lack of torque in this thing. Certainly with the diesel engine that this thing has. I mean, we've been doing essentially a little bit of a hill climb here, and it's been good. It's brought a smile to my face. Partially because it's interesting and exciting because, you know, its suspension is a little bit on the soft side. Certainly much softer than I'm used to. But again, I think if you're looking for a car that's going to be a kind of a family car, that has a sporty feel to this, it's probably the right mix. But for me, liking a sports car even as my daily driver, it's probably a little too soft. But it's, for lots of people, this is going to be right on, going to be perfect. So if I'm honest, there are two things I can say I don't like, or I can say I dislike about the new Countryman. One is the horn sounds, it doesn't, well, listen, it sounds a little anemic. That's the word I'm looking for. And then the other thing are the door handles. They open backwards like this, and it's just something a little counterintuitive about the way the door handle works. And maybe it's just me. Well, what do you guys think? Those are the two things that I'm not so happy about with the new Countryman. So if you have the keys in your pocket, all you have to do, the Mini will unlock itself, and you can store your groceries. Today is our final day in the Mini Countryman. We're going to spend the day in the city mostly, and so far this has really been a very utilitarian car. This car is fun to drive around the city. It's small enough to get into tight spaces, zippy enough, particularly when you put it in the sport mode. But also, as a busy professional, I can see how this car would fit in with my life. We've been moving quite a bit of camera gear, I've been grocery shopping, sort of things that you do generally in life. In addition to that, we picked up a number of our friends, and so we had 5 people in this car comfortably. The rear seats are awesome in this car, and so the Mini Countryman is proving to be a very versatile vehicle, one that operates in the country, as you saw earlier, one that is amazing, that works really well for an active lifestyle in the city, and of course if you want to do road trips with your friends, it accommodates that lifestyle as well. So overall, I would say the Mini Countryman is actually living up to its creed, what the Minis are all about: sportiness, design, innovation, and fun. Alright guys, well, this ends the European portion of this adventure with the Mini Countryman. It's been awesome. It's been a great car. It's gotten us around the city. In fact, we used just a little over a half a tank of fuel in this car. So for the 5 days that we've had it, I don't know how many miles that we covered, but it's been fuel efficient, it's been handy, it's gotten us around the city, even with 5 people in the car. So this has been it's been a good ride. I really do like this car as a daily driver. For all your lifestyle, consider the Mini.